Hello, doctor. I think I have a slight headache. Is there anything you can do for that?
No problem. Then this morphine is for you. Take this cocaine as well. Mix it with some whiskey, and you'll be better in no time.
Oh, thank you so much. I completely trust you since you have a medical diploma, right?
Sure.
I forgot to mention, once I get on that opium stuff, I can't stop. I kind of have a history with it.
Oh, that's no problem. Here, take heroin instead. It's 100% non-addictive. Also, come back tomorrow and make sure we'll start draining some of this. God damn it. Also, come back tomorrow and we can drain some. No issue. Here, God damn it. No issue. Here, take some heroin instead. It's 100% non-addictive. Also, come back tomorrow and we can drain some of that blood out.
Man, I'm so glad that I went to the doctor here in the Wild West. I'm sure people won't make podcast episodes about shit. I'm sure people won't make podcast episodes completely focused on how crazy these practices were.
All right, welcome to the Historical Blunders Podcast with me, Nate.
And Jacob.
Today, we are going to be talking about idiotic Wild West medications, remedies.
Yeah!
Out of date, horrible. Do not try these at home. Or if you do, don't say we told you to. So we're going to start by talking about just some actual medical history.
Well, before that, what time frame are we talking? We should clarify. I think like 1850 to 1900, right?
Yeah, Old West is what we're going to focus more on. We're going to dive back a little bit into the past, medieval times, ancient Greece, just because that's where some of the basis of medicine started. Because they actually surprisingly had, legit medicine back then. Ish.
Some, yeah. It depends if you were lucky or not. Yeah, it depends on what doctor you got.
They had actual medical practices.
Yeah, I mean, I think that in the east side of America at that time frame, they had, they did have medical schools.
Yes.
And they did have some doctors. But we're going to talk about the Wild West. And the West was really, it almost could be like a young man's game. Because you could go out there, a young, inexperienced doctor, and do a lot of medical practice, with no holds barred, because there's so much need out there for a doctor.
And I think a big thing that helped with that was, I don't think everyone, nowadays we have WebMD, we can look up to see what they're going to do or what they should do-ish.
Right.
Back then, the doctor said, oh, we got to cut off your leg. You're like, well, fuck, got to cut off the leg then.
That's the thing with WebMD. I'm basically my own doctor now.
Yeah, who needs them?
I have family in the medical field that are going to kick my ass for saying that. My wife's going to be pissed about that. Oh, well, whatever.
Going to doctors are for rich people.
So we're going to focus on medical practitioners to start because, like we said, there was medical schools in that time frame, but what they taught was largely based off of old Roman and Greek teachings.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because that was like 2,500 years ago. And it's kind of like they all just cheated off the other guy's test for like 2,500 years. Like, you mean to tell me that no one made any progress in that time frame?
Yeah, what really worried me about all that was that no one else was like, hey, should we try something different? Nope.
No, dude. Socrates had it all down.
It was Hippocrates.
Hippocrates? Well, he's a hypocrite.
Hypocrite.
Is that where hypocrite comes from?
No. Hippocrates, whatever the hell it is. Ancient Greek medical practitioner. Is actually, remnants of it is still kind of a thing. The Hippocratic Oath that, medical professionals take. Isn't it do not harm.
Yeah, don't hurt them. Try to help.
Try.
I mean, the intention is to do... for that mindset, it's to do as little as possible. Let the body take care of itself and help out in certain areas when it needs it, but don't be extreme, right? To the point where, and we'll talk about some of the treatments.
Some extreme things.
Yeah, they were pretty extreme. The cure was worse than the illness.
And that was one of my favorite things about the Wild West is almost every medicine was a cure for something. It wasn't like, now, you take Tylenol when you got a headache. Back then, it's like, you take this thing, it's going to be a cure for your headache.
Yeah, I mean, so we'll go into patent medicines later, yeah, but patent medicine was like, there was no laws for advertising back then. So it was like, not only will this cure your headache, but it will stop you from getting cancer, and like you'll grow your foot back, and your relationship with your wife is going to get better.
Results may vary.
So
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Medicines had all sorts of crazy claims back then.
Just medicine, just the crazy things they did. One thing that kind of just has always been still kind of practiced today, but not really, is bloodletting. When I looked that up, that trickled all the way back to ancient Greece. It really got popular in medieval times. And then in the Wild West, it was too, because, you can't have a disease if there's no blood.
Dude, it's just insane. So reading into the bloodletting, what happened early on was they likely had some guys that did get better from being bled out a little bit, right? And that can happen if you have hypertension, if you have extremely high blood pressure to the point where someone is kind of delirious. Then if you did drain some of their blood out, it would reduce their blood pressure temporarily. And it was one of those things, it was like, look at how great this is. And so because of that one or two circumstance, everyone's like misled into thinking, it's a great fix, because that person who had hypertension, right, if they get blood and then they're better for like 20 minutes or something, then their blood pressure comes right back to where it was later on.
Yeah, as soon as your body makes more blood.
And then, so it's one of those easily misled type of treatments, which, man, it was such a thing. Bloodletting was such a thing. Like, it's a little controversial, but it was one of the things that likely killed George Washington, too, right?
I can't imagine how many people just died from bloodletting.
Unnecessarily, yeah.
How many bloodlines were stopped because the doctor's just like, I don't know, I read it in a book.
Next time I'm sick, I should tell Sam, hey, what if...
Just get rid of some.
Just go up to the jugular, too, if we need to.
Yeah, use a fish hook.
We're jumping ahead.
So, yeah. So back to the Wild West. A lot of things happened is, people went out there for the colonizing and everything, and they needed doctors. And there was actually kind of a shortage of doctors at the time. Post-Civil War, a lot of these guys that were actually trained medically in quotes, for war, someone gets shot in the arm, you just cut the arm off, stop the infection.
Right, the Civil War fed right into the Wild West.
It was.
So you had a lot of guys that, in the Civil War were medics, but like...
Medics, not doctors.
I was going to say, the Civil War medical treatment was largely...
amputation.
Yeah, just cut it off. If you're not sure, just cut it off.
Yeah.
So, which was brutal because they also didn't really use anesthetic. It was just...
Give them some whiskey.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ow.
But, so all these guys, post-Civil War, saw a need, and went out west, just not really trained as a medical doctor. Like I said, in many cases, just saying you were a doctor was good enough to be a doctor.
Yeah, so really...
I miss my calling.
Really, back then, I think it was 1 in 4 were actually doctors. Like actually graduated medical students,
Actually hold a license.
There was largely an apprenticeship system, or you were a medic in the Civil War, right? And it was a thing, even people... if they were a shoemaker, right, in a town, and they happened to know how to treat something, and they would go do it, they would make a little money and be like, maybe there's more money in doing this than making my shitty shoes, Yeah. Then they turned into doctors, and that's all. That's all it kind of took.
A lot of the times, your doctor was also, your barber, your dentist. That happened a lot.
Yeah. So here's a story about one guy, right? So. Former janitor performed the first successful recorded cesarean section in the West. So John Richmond worked as a janitor in the medical school where he listened in on the lectures, just kind of, what's that one movie?
Fuck. That's gonna piss me off.
Dude, we have to get it.
It's the Matt Damon Ben Affleck movie.
I know. What is it? Batman versus Superman.
Good Will Hunting.
Oh, damn it.
Sorry. We don't need to phone a friend yet.
We'll save that for later. All right.
During the fun trivia round.
I already forgot. What was it?
The Caesarean section. The movie? Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunt. It was like Good Will Hunting, except he cut people open. So
It wasn't just...
So he wrote in his memoirs later in life, he wrote about the experience, right? Which I don't believe all of what he says, but he said, finding that whatever was done must be done soon, and feeling a deep and solemn sense of my responsibility, with only a case of common pocket instruments. About 1 o'clock at night, I commenced the cesarean section. The patient never complained of pain during the whole course of the cure. The baby died, but she did live out of it.
She lived. So technically, it wasn't the first successful.
So
the only successful part is the patient didn't die.
So okay, true, but I would say that in general back then, the mortality rate of being pregnant, giving birth, was like 50%.
Yeah.
Which is batshit crazy.
Fuck, I'm pregnant. Either we're gonna have a baby or I'm gonna die.
So I mean, both of my kids are C-section kids. So it scares you to think about what if they couldn't do it. Like you might lose.
Well, you had a doctor, not a janitor. I hope.
I hope too. No, both my kids are happy and healthy, and we're very grateful. No, but actually other sources in that story said that he was full of shit. There was tons of pain. They were outside hearing the woman scream.
I could only imagine.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he wrote about using like an anesthetic.
Well, the anesthetics back then would probably not help the baby either.
In the Civil War, the anesthetic was like a piece of bark and leather to bite on.
Bite down.
Yeah,
it'll get better.
I mean, and that's just like a microcosm, right? You have someone who thinks they can do it. There's an opportunity for them to go out and do it. Essentially back then, it was like, imagine the least intelligent person of your friend group or your family group. You all have, everyone's got that guy, right? Or woman, right? And imagine going to their house and being like, hey, I need you to do surgery on me. like back then, they weren't intelligent, and there was tons of people were getting sick and dying left and right in the Wild West.
Yeah.
So there was and they talk about it every time that you read about doctors in the Wild West. They were extremely busy. They would constantly have to ride out to people's houses.
Pa's sick. I need help. Pa's dead. You're welcome.
Win an Oscar for that performance.
Yep.
Pause.
I'll be waiting for my nomination.
No, Paul. And it's funny because the pay wasn't even that great either. It was 25 to 50 cents a service, right? Sometimes $1 if they stayed all night. And I know the initial thought is, well, what does that mean today? 50 cents was like $30 today. It was not like it's different, but it's not.
It's still some money.
It's still some money. If I went to the doctor, I'm not paying $30. I'm paying whatever the hell's going on with insurance. Yeah, right.
That's just what they're billing our insurance. But yeah, doctors were just cool back then. They were the rock stars. They just kind of did what they wanted. They were the drug dealers. They had territories.
They had duels.
They fucking dueled. Just imagine that. An actual doctor shows up to your town and is like, I'm going to do some good here. And then some fucking hill rod that's like, I'm a doctor, was like, bitch, bam.
I don't think that's a good Darwinism approach to getting a good doctor, though.
But watch. I wonder how many times that happened.
You're just getting a doctor that shoots well.
He's not a doctor.
He's like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but dude, I'm a good shot. It just keeps blowing away the doctors.
Anyone who's actually a doctor, hell no.
That's funny.
That's a movie they need to make.
So the diseases that were
Sorry.
so the diseases that were popular back then were common.
We're talking about the cool ones, guys.
Like not your mom's disease, you know, like
Mom?
mom's gone. So
Ma's gone. She's with Pa now.
the disease, oh Jesus, the diseases back dude. So here's the thing, Becca complains about the ice in the drink. Dude, this is the reason why you gotta you have my bathtub cup over here that like this is what it sounds like. I'm shaking it now. You are the reason, okay? This is my drink. This is what my drink sounds like.
I hear.
It's a little bit. It's
Bitch.
not as bad. Anyways, so the cool diseases back then were dysentery, smallpox, tuberculosis, yellow fever,
Dengue fever.
typhoid fever, plagues, and measles were like some of the big stuff. And actually, the diet plays into a lot of it, right? A lot of the time, the diet back then was meat, bread, and cheese, which makes you constipated.
And I can't imagine that meat being quality meat. Because I feel like a lot of that, they're like, oh, we cured it. It'll last forever. And then it's just rotten in the shed.
Yeah, so I wonder about that. That's a good point. Because I would also say, like, our meat now is so processed.
Yes.
Like, what's the trade-off? Rotten, pure meat, like, from an animal, or our processed meat? Probably our processed meat.
But also,
That's a weird thought.
Becca and I, on our trip, she was reading me just stupid shit about the West. It was awesome.
Yeah.
She found, like, old recipes. And one was field rat stew or something like that.
See, in a stew like that, I would eat a field mice.
But also,
if it was cooked by someone who knew what they were doing.
Side note about mice and rats and shit. In like in Asia and stuff, like I think it was Vietnam, the rice bogs and everything are like full of rats, and they'll catch them and eat them.
Sure.
Because they don't have like the diseases from the city. It's just wild meat.
They're good rats.
Yeah. I don't know. Who's the bald dude? Bizarre Eats?
Oh, Andrew Zimmer.
Is that his name?
Zimmerman?
I don't know. The bald dude, chubby dude.
Yeah, I know. I know what you're talking about.
I don't know. They made like this fucking like sweet chili looking rat, and it looked
Dude,
fire.
That's what I mean. If someone knows what they're doing and they cook it the right way, I would eat
damn
a
near
lot of
anything.
stuff. I would try it at least.
Yeah.
Have an open mind. A lot of people are gonna roll their eyes, but I think like who is it? Brett's grandma cooks squirrels.
Yeah, the candied squirrel.
I would eat those squirrels.
Dude, it was delicious.
I never had one.
Oh.
I talk a big game.
I love squirrel.
I've never had a squirrel, but I would try.
I'll shoot one in the backyard and bring it to you.
I don't want you to cook it.
Oh. Do you want it raw?
I need someone who knows how to cook it.
Make you some sashimi.
Okay,
Squirrel.
that's fucking gross. So, also one of the, I guess, quotation mark diseases was female hysteria back then. And commonly that was treated with a vibrator.
Yep.
So they had this weird time in history where they thought that if you gave a woman an orgasm that she would be fine and stop acting so crazy, which is
It says a lot about their husbands.
yeah, crazily misogynistic and terrible. But yeah, you know,
Yeah. All right, and speaking of the diseases, we're going to play a fun game.
chlamydia.
No. We're going to play a game called Guess the Ailment. I'm going to read Jake some Wild West, crazy, stupid remedies, cures,
Treatments.
treatments, and I just want him to try to guess what they do,
And I haven't
what they're
seen,
for.
I haven't seen any of this, so
And
I
he is
have
not.
no clue.
I'm going to give him an easy one right off the bat.
Okay, Daddy.
God, fuck you. All right. Eat raw liver and drink fresh blood.
Oh fuck.
Think of, what's liver rich in? What vitamin?
Dude, I am not
Oh,
a medical
iron.
iron. Iron, and blood has iron in it too.
Yeah. So
And-
what?
and blood stuff.
So blood stuff.
So
Usually,
what do you need iron for? Liver disease?
no,
Fuck.
anemia, iron deficiency.
Dude, I'm gonna be so bad. at
This is gonna be fun. All right.
It just
How about easy one? Easy one. You ready?
You said that about the last one.
You wear a muskrat skin on your chest with the fur next to the chest. So you wear it with the fur touching the chest. What does that cure?
Hypothermia?
No. I'll give you one more guess.
How the fuck is that easy?
It's an easy one.
You want the fur on your chest?
Yes.
Dysentery. I don't know.
Asthma, you dumbass. We're going to take a quick break and hear a message from our sponsor. Is something interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals? Regardless if you have a clinical mental health issue like depression or anxiety, or if you're just a human who lives in a world who is going through a hard time, therapy can give you the tools to approach your life in a very different way. And that's why I'm excited to tell you about today's sponsor, BetterHelp. BetterHelp.com.
That's right, Nate. BetterHelp's mission is to make therapy more affordable and more accessible. And this is an important mission because finding a therapist can be hard, especially when you're limited to the options in your area. Yeah, I'm really glad we chose BetterHelp as a sponsor for this podcast because I've had people in my own life that have struggled with mental health and anxiety and depression. And therapy was something that definitely helped them overcome those struggles. And now they're in a much better place.
Yeah, I mean, I use BetterHelp, and so far, so good.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really talking about you.
Oh.
BetterHelp is a platform that makes finding a therapist easier because it's online, it's remote, and by filling out a few questions, BetterHelp can match you to a professional therapist in as little as a few days.
And sometimes faster. It only took a couple hours for me.
That's right. It's easy to sign up and get matched with a therapist. There's a link in our description. It's betterhelp.com/historicalblunderspod.
All one word.
That's right. Clicking that link helps support this channel, but it also gets you 10% off your first month of BetterHelp, so you can connect with a therapist and get the support that you need.
And because finding a therapist is a little like dating, if you don't really fit with that therapist, which is a common thing with therapy, you can easily switch to a new therapist at no additional cost, without stressing about insurance, who's in network, or anything like that.
So if you're struggling, consider online therapy with BetterHelp. Click the link in the description or visit betterhelp.com/historicalblunderspod.
And that's betterhelphelp.com. You ready for this next one?
Yes.
All right.
Sure.
You're going to catch a chaparral bird, aka a roadrunner, early in the morning.
Meet me.
Exactly. Kill it, eat it, and what will go away? You're never going to guess it because it's something that...
Your colon.
A boil.
A boil. Wow, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. This will prevent something. Eat an onion sandwich and wash your hair.
So onions do have medicinal properties for like the flu. Flu?
Close.
Yeah. Fever. Shit.
The colds. Get rid of a
I'll
cold.
call it a flu.
Yeah.
It's all the same.
I'll give you a win for that one. That one's close.
COVID, cold, flu, it's all the same
All
thing.
cured by onions.
All cured by onions.
All right. How about this one?
And a vaccine. Get vaccinated.
You're cutting that out.
You're staring at me.
All right.
You're cutting that out.
Calm down there.
You better. I am
Travis
not.
Kelce.
I am. Does he push for vaccination?
Yeah, he's the COVID guy. All right. This one. You got
Leprosy.
No. There probably is one for that. You got to do this 3 times a day, and something will go away. Put cow dung in water. Bring it to a boil. So make some cow shit tea. Gargle it
Oh,
3 times a day, and what will go away?
Jesus Christ. Your will to live?
Close.
A sore throat?
Cough.
Dude,
I'll give it to you.
I could be a Wild West
Yeah,
doctor.
dude, you could be a doctor. All right, smear on your head cow manure.
Oh, I started reading about that. I didn't finish it. Shit. I mean, that's what it is, right? Shit on the head.
Yep.
Sounds like something my dad would tell me to do. Just as
And
a
just to
joke.
watch you do it. I could see him doing
Or
that.
like a mean parent. My dad's nice. I shouldn't say that. I don't know. Shit on the head. Headache.
No, it actually was make hair grow.
Oh.
All right.
It'd be funny if it was a headache. It's like that head on. Apply directly to the forehead.
Oh.
With shit.
Jesus Christ. All right. This one I'm not going to make you guess because it's just funny. But this is their cure of fixing someone with a stutter. You hit the stuttering person in the mouth with a chicken gizzard. but bam. Like what the fuck?
Like with them prepared and ready for it, or like you just gotta surprise them?
It's literally just hit him in the mouth with the chicken gizzard, so I think you gotta surprise
I think
him.
you gotta surprise them. Like no one's taking a chicken gizzard to the mouth on purpose for fun.
Usually no.
I would rather stutter. You eat
You
them?
get them fried?
You eat them?
Hell yeah.
Oh, dude. Come on now.
We call that homeopathic medicine.
All right, let's move on. I'm getting.
So, okay. We're going to talk about some of the drugs used.
Yeah, Wild West. What were the drugs they used? So, number one,
Wild West must have been such a fun time. We're scary.
because the number one medicine was what, Nate?
Cocaine.
Cocaine. Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
It was back then.
So, cocaine was the most common drug used on the frontier. And if you don't know, it's a stimulant, not a narcotic.
Yeah. One thing I read is that doctors used it for eye surgery because it does numb, but they would use it so then they could perform eye surgery because they'd be numb, but then their eye would be like
Tweaking.
fucking open.
Yeah.
It works.
Whatever works. So what they started like extracting cocaine out of the coca leaves.
Is that where it comes from?
Oh my god, damn it. Like 1850, right? They started doing that.
Yeah, so actually coca leaves came South America is very abundant with them. Hence
Is that where
why
cocaine comes from?
a lot of cocaine comes from South America. But yeah, the ancient Incans actually would chew on the leaves, you know.
That'd be kind of nice. Chewing on the leaves. It's more natural.
Chewing on a leaf and then having, you know,
Tweaking, you know?
having the fun to go. But actually,
And selling your laptop to get some more leaves, you know?
it happens. So a German chemist, Albert Niemann, in 1863, was actually the first one to extract cocaine from the leaves. Yeah, the French chemist, Angelo Marini, made a fortune selling it in a beverage. Back then, it was like Peruvian wine de coco.
Right.
It was just a medical elixir. It was cocaine wine, basically.
It was like the first Pokemon, and then Coca-Cola was like the final evolution.
Good old fucking Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola, but they first set it up, and they would sell it as like a morphine addiction treatment.
Yeah.
Right. This will help you get off your morphine addiction. Take some cocaine.
We'll get you addicted to something else.
They would put it in like chewing gum, tobacco, like they would put it in stuff mostly as like a pep up pill. They gave it to soldiers to help fight fatigue because obviously those soldiers would be moving, you know, if
You
they
know,
were
similar concept to Pervitin.
right, coked up. Turns out if we coke them up,
You know, if we give them speed for 3 days, they're gonna not sleep for 2 weeks.
the results have been improved.
But yeah, so Coca-Cola, started in 1885, contained 9 milligrams of cocaine per bottle. And I don't know where the fuck they got this statistic, and I want to know where. But according to them, the average, line of cocaine that people do is 50 to 75 milligrams of cocaine. So there's significantly less
Yeah.
cocaine in Coca-Cola.
I mean,
back then.
you drink a 6-pack and you're having a good time.
You drink a 6-pack, you're hitting that
Right.
that line.
But you don't think that they could get an accurate estimate of how much a line of coke is?
I just want to know if they're just like, all right, we need like 10 coke heads, make us a line, and then they just like weight them.
Averaged them all?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I think they'd be pretty consistent. I mean, you had a pretty big spread there, 50 to 75.
I mean, that does give you a 25 milligram window there.
Right, 50% boost.
I still just want to know. But yeah, supposedly 1903 cocaine was removed from Coca-Cola.
Heavily debated.
Yeah. So,
Right.
I mean, we're going to talk about more drugs, but typically like 1910 to 1915, almost all these drugs were outlawed. And finally, someone with common sense was like, how about we stop drugging everybody?
And to get a good feel for what that amount of cocaine does, I've actually brought some cocaine here, Nate, for us to do.
No, he did not.
It'd be fun.
No.
Man, it would make great podcasts, though.
It would make our sponsor very unhappy.
Yeah, we're totally not doing cocaine right now.
I fucking hate you.
Let's get randomly drug tested at work.
So cocaine was just kind of used everywhere. One of my favorite uses of it was the cocaine toothache drops.
For kids.
Cocaine
for kids.
Which were
there's got to be like a really good gimmick in there, like a good, what do you call it? Jingle.
like they had to have had a killer jingle.
Yeah, if I had more time, I'd make a cocaine for kids jingle. I might get like in trouble though.
Yeah.
Never mind. Now that I've said it out loud, maybe I won't make a cocaine for kids jingle.
Dumbass. So yeah, they actually we'll post some pictures. On this box of cocaine toothache drops, there's 2 kids painting a fence, working. But yes, they're for toothaches.
Happy kids.
Happy kids.
They look super happy.
They look like they're gonna get some shit done.
They're having the best time of their lives.
Very focused. But yeah, so this stuff was actually like, you just walk into Walgreens and buy some, Tums. It'd be right next to the Tums. And yes, targeted at children.
Dude, yeah. You didn't need a prescription or nothing?
Nope. Just go right in and get you some cocaine.
You want 1 pack? You want 5 packs? I'll give you all of them.
Also, a funny thing is, they were sold at bars, too. So just imagine, you got...
Well, if you got a toothache at the bar?
I know you're over there just shooting whiskey trying to get rid of this toothache, and then the barkeep's just, I got these tablets, these drops back here that might make you feel better.
Stop wasting your money on this whiskey. Let me get you some cocaine.
Just mix in some cocaine. You're fine.
Classic.
So, cocaine was used for a lot of different things. In 1883, Dr. Theodor Aschenbrandt, I don't know, German dude. Their names are weird. Used pure cocaine to soldiers during maneuvers, and then reported, holy crap, they actually were able to, endure fatigue and just do very well.
They said that they felt invincible.
Yeah, it happens. Another, kind of important guy in medical history, at least, psychology related, Sigmund Freud.
Yeah, he's a big proponent for cocaine.
Yeah, he actually used cocaine as a tonic to cure depression and sexual impotence. Can't get a hard on? Here you go. Sad about it? Here you go.
I think there's something to like microdosing cocaine, probably.
Just like shrooms?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, don't do a lot of it, but I bet you a little bit probably does make you feel pretty good.
I'm going to slap you.
Why?
We don't condone doing drugs.
Oh, come on.
But in my adventures of life, I've never met a sad person on cocaine. So eventually, cocaine made its way into patented medicines. Lozenges, you got that rough cough, that cold.
Oh, yeah. People come back for it.
Yep. Doctors and pharmacists prescribed it to treat indigestion, pain, and actually relieve vomiting during pregnancy. Yeah.
Well, what's that? You got your morning sickness? Man, I got a cure for that.
And this is another thing that I laugh at is they actually used to make enemas with it too.
Yeah, so
there's a stupid fucking song called Molly Cyrus.
Molly Cyrus?
Molly Cyrus. Yes. I can't remember. It's a rapper. He's got tattoos on his face. The song is stupid as shit, but he always talks about sticking cocaine in her ass with his tongue, giving her a cocaine enema.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It's so stupid.
I was gonna bring up something else, but my mind is kind of sidetracked now. Miley, I thought you were drunk and misspoke.
Nope.
Molly Cyrus.
Molly Cyrus. I think his name's Stitches.
Dude, we're boosting his views right now.
He's an idiot. He gets enough.
So no, but
We'll
so
steal some of his.
I read this a couple places. In all this is people were very fond of the enemas back then. Like it seemed like every doctor had like shove it up their ass. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
Like
I guess if it was literally just, you show up, you bend over, we shove something in your ass and you leave. But also, enemas are effective. That's why they still use them today.
is that right?
Yeah. I know people nowadays do a lot of like coffee enemas. That's a thing.
Well, so I'll jump ahead because one of the notes that I have is to treat a drowning person.
You stick a hose in their ass?
You would stick a hose in their ass. And you would you would blow tobacco smoke up their ass.
Okay.
Like they thought that would stimulate your respiration and warm you up to the point where you'd start breathing again.
Did it work?
No.
Oh.
So they never had any like, oh, it worked on this guy. It was like we always did it and it never worked. So like I don't know. Talk about blowing smoke up your ass.
Fucking killed it.
I've been sitting on that.
You've been sitting on it
for 4 days.
Fucking killed it. Awesome delivery. All right.
Thanks, Dad. Thanks,
God
Daddy.
damn. So we're going to be talking about some other things.
We're on morphine now, right?
God damn it. Yes, morphine.
What, you don't want to talk about morphine?
No, I was building it up, and then you're like, we're talking about morphine?
Oh, see, the thing with morphine is like, it's a lot like masturbation, right? Because on one hand, it feels good.
Fucking idiot. You lost my respect. The blowing smoke up your ass was a good one. All right. But yes, morphine was the most common narcotic on the frontier.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Because, opium made its way over. People from Asian countries came over and built a lot of the West railroads and all that. And so I could kind of see where the opium was a hit. You're working long hours, building railroads.
Life sucked.
You
needed,
something.
an escape.
Yeah. Something to relieve it a little bit.
Yeah, when they talk about opium in the West, it seems like cocaine was like comparatively like a little smart car. And then like more like opium was like a diesel truck.
Yeah.
Like opium was powerful. It really messed people up. People really got it. Like
Smoked it.
There was legitimate addiction problems in the West about opium.
Well, narcotics are extremely addictive.
Right.
And morphine, was, eventually synthesized. I mean, now it's synthesized, but
right.
From then, it was actually made from poppy. Like you ever hear about poppy seed bagels? Don't eat them on drug test days.
I have heard that.
Yeah.
Mythbusters did a thing.
Did they?
Yeah. And it actually worked.
I was gonna say I must have fallen asleep during that episode.
Like they had a poppy seed thing and they failed the drug test.
Oh.
Like shit.
But yeah, so morphine was very popular as, painkiller. We're going to do some surgery on you. Morphine.
Boom. It works.
Also, one of my favorite drugs from the Old West, Mrs. Winslow's soothing syrup for babies.
Which is one of the funniest stories of the Wild West medicine.
Yeah, it's so 65 milligrams per fluid ounce of morphine, and then another primary ingredient.
Which, by the way, do you know how much that is?
That's so
how
much.
Is 65 milligrams a lot?
So a dose for Ellie of Tylenol?
Yeah. Has morphine in it?
No. I forgot how much it is per Fuck. But it's
yeah, but like
so
different compounds have different, like if like someone who was a junkie like took morphine was like going to get.
I
messed
think
up.
if a junkie took the soothing syrup, they'd be fine. They'd be okay with it.
All right, I'm gonna
Google that.
I'm gonna look up a morphine dose for.
But yes, alcohol was the other primary ingredient in Mrs. Winslow's soothing syrup, which is another picture we'll be sharing on social media. Because
holy shit,
what,
dude! Adult morphine use in a hospital today is 10 to 20 milligrams every 44 hours. Or sorry, every 4 hours.
So you're getting 65 milligrams.
Dude, so you're getting 3 times an adult dose
You're getting
to that baby.
12 hours. Well, I mean, 12 hours of an adult dose to a baby in one dose.
Dude, that's fucked up.
Mixed with alcohol.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. It was for teething, colicky babies. Babies needed to soothe. But yeah, it was
That baby is going to be rolling as soon as you give him that.
the baby's going to feel great after that because he's not going to know he's a baby
The
anymore.
baby's going to be like, I don't really want to be alive anymore. Just fall asleep.
Yeah.
Stop breathing. And that happened a lot.
Yeah. A lot of people died back then.
Well, and actually, so children from ages 0 to 5 had the highest percentage of dying in those ages. Especially, they would point out later in history, especially around their teething years, the babies would be dying. And it was because the baby would be teething. That's when the baby's the most ornery, right? Or if they're colicky, right? My son was colicky, and that's tough. I'm not giving him morphine, but like, it's not easy, you know, dealing with that. But they would give, a lot of kids would get, Miss Winslow's around their teething times when they're ornery, and then they would like die.
Well, yeah.
Because like
Fucking ODing your babies.
dude, it's just it's like kind of sad,
It actually, this stuff stayed for sale up until 1930, which is insane to me.
Didn't they have to cut out some of the drugs before then?
Yeah.
Eventually they're like, dude, you can't put morphine in there. That's messed up.
Yeah. Like I said, between like 1910 and 1915, almost all of these drugs were like taken out of their uses because people were like, oh shit, this isn't real. But yeah, morphine was used as a huge painkiller for so much shit. But a lot of doctors actually thought that morphine was like yes, you got addicted to it, but it was like the lesser of other evils, like being, alcoholic and other painkillers and stuff. Like, to me, just imagine being addicted to morphine.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. So after the Civil War and everything, a lot of veterans of that war were addicted to morphine, and it was called the soldier's disease. I saw that, and I was like, "Phew."
I could see that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they were just like, "Yep, here you go."
I mean, at the time, right, opium was swelling in popularity, right? It went from being brought in at 24,000 pounds per year, and at the end of the Wild West era, it would be 416,000 pounds. So
That's so much.
yeah, opium dens were absolutely a part of the culture.
Yeah.
It was like you'd have your saloon, and then you'd have the opium den, and then the rest of the city.
So another cool thing but another thing that we found
Super cool.
I don't know. I learned some stuff. Okay.
That's why we're here.
We're trying to learn shit.
We're trying to
So what happens is they actually started making a drinkable medicine by dissolving opium into alcohol called laudanum. I've heard of it. I've never really thought much of it, but it was for
tastes a little bitter.
God damn it.
Just kidding.
It was made for treating headaches, toothaches, heart ailments, insomnia, nerve pain, and female complaints. Yeah, gotta love the Old West. It was added to cough syrups, but also people use it to commit suicide. I don't think it was very knowing they were gonna die. I think it was just, ooh, this is great, let's keep taking it, and basically ODing on it. But there was a lot of famous people that used laudanum. First one was Eleanor Dumont. also known as Madame Moustache.
Madame Moustache.
She must have had a mustache.
What is she famous for?
She was a gambler, worked in a bunch of different mining camps and stuff, but she overdosed after a large gambling loss. So she just lost a fuck ton and was like, fuck it. So she might not have done it on purpose, but...
The circumstance would tell you.
Or she just was trying to,
Forget about it.
forget.
Yeah.
But another cool one was, cool one, Maddie Balak, I don't know, was supposedly the...
We're so bad
I
at
know,
enunciations.
Blalak, was the common law wife of Wyatt Earp, who was a huge Old West figure. She was known to have abused laudanum while she was with him, and then after he left her and everything, she took a lethal dose. And like they said, they didn't know if it was actual intentional or if it was accidental. But many writers and poets used laudanum, including Charles Dickens, Lewis Carroll, and Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Oh, and Edgar Allan Poe. Which makes sense why he's so dark.
So a lot of the celebrities did it. It seemed like, huh?
I think
Like
it was
the cool
just...
drug.
I don't think it was even a drug at the point. I think it was just a painkiller.
It's a club drug.
It was just something like, oh, you feeling a little bit off? Here you go.
Alcohol and morphine. What could go wrong?
Perfectly fine.
What I like is eventually Bayer Pharmaceuticals in 1898 made it into heroin with their process
Yeah.
and touted it as a non-addictive alternative to morphine.
Because, heroin definitely is not addictive.
Yeah, no, it's 100% fine.
Yeah, but the name was based... Heroin the name was based off the German word Hirosh. Hirosh? I don't know. I don't speak German.
Which, I mean, just in general, right, that story of heroin being touted as non-addictive is like one of the reasons why it's good to learn something about history, because you see it circling back and copying itself.
History always repeats itself.
Absolutely, with OxyContin. We went through the same exact thing. We think we're so much farther along, we're so much more advanced. We did the same shit again.
Yeah.
Right?
Like I've always said, because
it's terrible.
So many people always, it's just, it's not addictive. Everything and anything is addictive.
Would you just say we were upstairs? Anything that changes your mind?
Anything that changes your mind is addictive. That's like, people saying like marijuana isn't addictive. And then you see that person go, fuck, I need a joint. I don't feel good. I need a joint. And it's like, is it?
Yeah. I mean, obviously there's different levels.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
people are addicted to coffee.
Yeah.
I mean, they made a whole TV show called My Strange Addictions. That one bitch was eating chalk.
I would say podcasting.
Podcasting is a weird addiction. Especially for, millennial men, maybe. No.
Yeah, people desperate for attention.
Just not getting it at home.
Anyways.
Back to heroin. But yeah. So Bayer aspirin actually was what I saw.
Yeah.
Contained heroin. Which I think is just funny.
Yeah, it's a painkiller.
It is a painkiller. Goddamn, did it work.
Kills the fuck out of that pain.
Yeah. But, continued all the way through 1912. There was that little brief stint of American history where, the medical association was like, maybe we shouldn't use these. And magically all these drugs disappeared out of drugs, like pharmaceutical drugs, but then became illegal drugs. Yeah, it was a rough time in American history.
Yeah, I mean,
like I said, must have been fun though.
I gotta say though, like life was so rough in that era too.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I don't think you could ever really get a grasp of how psychotic the Wild West was.
Yeah, doctors shooting doctors.
Doctors shooting doctors. You had freaking gangs just rolling in and taking over towns and then being like, yep, we're here now.
I would like it if my doctors
shot at each other.
Fatally competed for my work.
I might actually go to the doctor then. I'd have respect.
Wait, you don't go to the doctor?
Fuck no.
You don't go to the doctor?
No, don't tell my wife. She knows. She always yells
Dude,
at
she's
me.
gonna find out.
She always yells at me.
I'm the one who edits the episode. I want to
shit.
keep that in.
No. I told her I'd go to the doctor when Ellie's born. She's 9 months old now.
How many times have you gone?
0. I hate the doctor.
You dirty birdie.
So, I would like to talk about... Well, I mean, we'll keep hitting some of this.
So those are some of the main drugs that we would go over in the Wild West era. We kind of went through a little game of treatment versus ailment, right? But now we'll go over what were the common medical procedures that doctors would use during the time frame of the Wild West era. And we touched on it some already, but bloodletting was obviously a very common procedure that they would use. And it was so encouraged and abided by. Just one thing to mention we didn't mention before, but Dr. Daniel Drake was one of the renowned physicians at the time, and he was known for really pushing medicine forward, but also he was a huge advocate for bloodletting. So in his writings, he said, to bleed a patient who cannot be raised from his pillow without fainting, right? Whose pulse is nearly imperceptible, whose skin is cold and extremities shrunk up to half of their ordinary size, would at first view seem rash and unwarrantable to bloodlet. But experience has sanctioned the use of lancet, even when all these other symptoms of extreme prostration are present. If the patient was so wasted away that blood could not flow from the veins, he would urge to recourse to the jugulars. You know. So start slicing the neck open if you have to. Get that demons out of the out of that
Get
blood.
the demons out of the blood.
So it just comes to like paint the picture of how much they really enjoyed the good old bloodletting back then, right?
Yeah.
I mean, George Washington on his deathbed was being bloodlet, I think, 4 times a day.
Yeah.
And
I don't
actually-
think your blood produces that fast.
And I think, what was it? His last words were, well, some of his last words were more bloodletting. Like, he was asking for more because they thought, like, it would have, I don't know.
Someone told him it'd work, and so he was hell-bent on it.
He was probably like, I'm tough as shit, taking more out. And then he
I
died.
defeat the British. I can do this. Me and my wooden teeth.
It wasn't all wood.
I know.
It was, yeah, other stuff.
So this actually dates back a little past the Wild West, but also they did do it a little bit in the Wild West with, you know, the liver and the human blood, was cannibalism. Because, you know, it's kind of a no-no.
It's like frowned upon now.
Frowned upon a little
People are
bit.
so sensitive about it.
But, you know, anemia because of all the iron in blood and the liver. They actually, for epilepsy, migraines, and doctors would actually, you know, for gout, you know, infection of the toes. I'm gonna say I have a friend that's got gout, and it's disgusting.
You
as
should
fuck.
prescribe eating people.
No. So doctors would actually make an oil from boiled human bones. I mean, this is way back in the day, like way medieval times. But basically, they thought, you know, consuming human remains, basically you were stealing the leftover soul of the previous owners and boosting your vitality.
So, do you think that there's actually some medicinal properties? I would see that. I would be surprised if there wasn't some.
Yes, because something that, you know, happens, stem cell research, stem cells.
Right.
All the stuff that happens with like the regrowth that your body can do with stem cells. Stem cells, they use it. My insurance, whatever, my company's insurance does it for like ruptured discs and shit.
Yeah.
And all your fucked up back shit for old people and all your joints. They actually put stem cells in to like regrow your cartilage and stuff like that.
So here's a joke about cannibalism. All right. So 2 cannibals are sitting around a campfire. One says to the other, "I hate my mother-in-law." The other says, "Then just eat the vegetables,"
What?
because they're eating the mother-in-law.
I get it now. I hate how long that took me to get it.
Then just eat the vegetables.
That's funny. I like that.
Anyway,
Almost as good as the flamingo dad joke.
All right, so one other thing they did was called trepanation, which is a fancy word for drilling holes in people's heads.
Yeah.
Right?
Which, I mean, to an extent, they do still do that. But a lot safer to relieve pressure on the brain.
They still do it today. Mm-hmm. Wow.
So, like, if you have a really bad head injury and there's blood on your brain, they'll drill it and drain it.
Yeah, it's just, it's, someone who's been to school.
Professionally, most likely a super robotic arm doing it, moving extremely carefully. Instead of, old granddad in his workshop with his hand crank drill.
Better him than like your slow cousin Billy,
Just let me get my Ugga Dugga impact and we'll fix your head.
Right. So there's one thing. Another was patent medicine, and we've touched on it a couple times, but patent medicine had been around for a while before the Wild West. It started really in Europe around the 1700s, and it was utilized as a magic treatment for all symptoms. Like we said before, it could cure your relationship with your wife.
Yes.
And it depends on what brand it was, but it was commonly laced with some crazy shit,
And 99% of the time did nothing at all.
A lot of times it was like a laxative based medicine.
So you felt the shits coming, you're like, it must be working.
Because like I said, the diet back then was so meat,
bad.
Cheese, bread.
Yeah.
Which just gunked you up.
And also, what is a big thing is, yes, cleaning out your colon. Because there is a lot of shit that sits in there. That's why enemas are a thing.
That's why they were... Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's such weird to me why they were so... I keep coming back to it.
I mean, just the poor diet. You don't... Like, that's why we,
like maybe I should be shoving something up my butt.
We can try it after the show's over.
Maybe we should do it during.
Next episode. Give you an enema. Ah! It's working!
Maybe I'll just act it out. Oh, no, my butthole.
But you always see, like, there's stupid shit, like bodybuilders on, like, oh, you gotta get rid of that nasty shit in your colon. Here, take this colon cleanser.
Right.
Super Greens colon cleanse. But yeah, so that is why I could see a laxative working back then to an extent.
Right, but then back then, right, advertising was not regulated.
Nope.
Right? So like we said before, they would make all these crazy, like, it cures cancer and frostbites. That has nothing to do with each other. Yeah. There's no way. So, it was common for them to have, like, these traveling shows. Yes. It was like a circus, right?
The traveling medicine shows. You see it a lot in Westerns and stuff. You see the guy rolling in with his stagecoach, selling this magical elixir that'll fix anything. Also known as snake oil.
Right. So the big guy for that,
Clark Stanley,
also known as the Rattlesnake King, sold a snake oil liniment, and he made lots of money on it. And eventually, in 1916, the FDA did a study on it and found it did not contain any snoke oil. What did I even say? Snoke?
Yeah. It's the shoulders.
Same as the arms and the hands. No, they found that it did not contain any fucking it did not contain any snake oil at all.
No. So, big thing is where the snake oil came from is, the Asians coming over and building the fucking railroads. They actually used different kind of snakes. Snakes that actually, the oils from them actually did things.
Did have medicinal
purposes.
Yep.
This guy, also known as Clark Stanley, made, the rattlesnake, snake oil, and yes, actually did contain nothing.
So, yeah, not only did rattlesnake oil do nothing for you, it also wasn't even in the medicine.
No. Yeah.
But he was quite the showman.
Yes,
right?
and that was a big thing, is the people that were, the show. I mean, if you were a performer and selling this shit, people believed you.
Right. Well, they would do show, and then like intermission, they'd go around and be like, "Buy our medicine," and like the show would just keep going on until everyone kind of bought.
Yeah,
some medicine.
until they were fresh out, and then they're like, "All right, bye."
All right, we're done. See you later.
2 hours in, then they're like, "Oh fuck, someone took it at this point."
But you
Leave.
just buy it already.
I think I
The
missed my
lion's
calling.
getting tired.
I missed my calling. I could have been a salesman.
You think so?
No,
I don't think you
I would have made a good Wild West.
You're
doctor.
too nice of a guy, honestly.
Oh, I couldn't be a
have
Wild
a
West
soul.
doctor.
No. Damn it. No, I don't think so.
My mama raised me too smart.
You think I could be a Wild West doctor?
Yes,
Because I'm full of shit.
because you're an engineer.
Engineer.
You guys know your things.
You'd be surprised. I shouldn't say that. The people. By the way, I was gonna say I have a lot of friends at work that I want to call out and say thanks to. I have Chris and Charlotte and Tyler, Kyle, Will, Paula, and even Max. Right, all those guys have given me a lot of feedback on the show, and just the end of the year, right around the holidays here. I want to say thanks, guys. We appreciate it. We appreciate all our listeners.
Yes,
really.
we really do appreciate it.
But those guys have given me a lot of specific feedback, and I appreciate it.
If you guys keep listening, we're going to keep recording weird shit in my basement.
Well,
That's a guarantee.
And kind of each episode's a little bit different, right? Because we're trying out new stuff to see what works. And to get your guys' feedback helps with that process a lot.
Yes.
And
So
we love doing this, and we're going to keep doing it for a long time. I don't, forever? No.
forever. Till our wives make us stop.
That's the actual truth, isn't it? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's a little dark.
But it's the truth.
But it's the truth. But no, we're having a great time. We have lots of plans going forward, so enjoying it.
Yes.
All right. So pulsometers was this crazy looking hourglass thing, a dumbbell shaped type thing that was filled with a liquid. And what would happen is they would hold it to a patient's pulse and bubbles would form. And it was like doctors would use it as a, like, oh, look at how scientific I am. And I use today's modern medicine. And it actually didn't do shit. Like, it didn't do anything for reading people's pulses.
So basically, it was a thermometer.
Yeah.
That just heated up as it touched human skin.
Absolutely. And it did nothing, but it looked cool.
That would look pretty cool. Can
It was
get
like
one?
It's like the same as calling yourself an engineer. People think it sounds so smart. Not actually that smart.
When you're talking the next one, I'm gonna look one of those up. We're gonna see if we can find one.
A pulsometer? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna be talking about something that I'm gonna do to Jake a little bit later,
Yeah.
just to see if it works.
Okay, Daddy.
So, I fucking hate you. So
no, you don't.
I know I love you. There was a doctor.
So the other day,
I'm gonna fight you. There was a doctor that actually said this was a treatment
for malaria.
that he used for malaria. I'm just gonna keep talking. Acting like it
Made me
doesn't
mad
bother me.
last episode. It's my turn.
I don't remember last episode.
Can we just say that? Can I say that too? Like in the last episode, I don't want to talk that much in the episode, but I had to.
I am sorry. I was force-fed scotch.
You were not for.
Okay, they put scotch in front of me, and I don't sip, I drink. And so Nate had a rough episode and got cut out of a lot of it. So that's why it seems like Jake is very heavy in that episode.
Yeah, it was like an hour and 25 minutes long of a recording. It ended up being like a little over an hour.
Yeah.
Anyways,
But yes.
you don't have to apologize.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So one doctor decided a cure for malaria. You took your patient outside and put between two cabins. You have to find two cabins together. If you had one cabin by yourself, you're screwed. But if you had two together, this is important. You strip them naked.
What about three? What if there's three cabins in the area?
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
You need two. If there's three, it's an odd number. You gotta start over. Knock one
That's
down.
the devil's number.
Knock one
That's
down.
the devil.
But yeah, specifically two. You strip them naked. You lie them in between
You know, the two cabins thing has nothing to do with it. Like, he can just say, take him outside.
I know. They just want. I think the big thing was funneling the air between the two. I hope. Otherwise, he was just an idiot and was like, there was two cabins there that night.
That's like the dumbest. Like, just say that then. Go in a windy place.
I hope. I don't know. I'm giving this guy a lot of credit for something very stupid. So, you take him out, put him between the cabins, strip him naked, and then you pour buckets of cold water.
Here you go, lass.
Over them until they start to shiver.
Oh, fuck, that's cold. Oh, fuck. No more, please.
And so then when they start to shiver, then you start putting warm water on them. And then when they stop shivering, you give them opium. And they're cured.
Or dead.
Or dead. So I think the malaria gets you a little warm, gives you a fever. Then they take you outside, strip you naked, give you hypothermia. And then they heat you back up, trying to regulate you, and then give you some drugs. Hot damn.
It's like, if you got a headache, try cutting off the head. It won't hurt.
You can't hurt if you don't have a head.
Dude, there's no way, like, people survived that treatment regularly.
I hope not.
Like, is a malaria like a you're gonna die kind of illness? I don't even know.
Back then, probably. I mean, now, no, because when I went to Haiti, I had to take malaria pills. Like,
well, let's just say it was. Then I could see why you would do it, because maybe that, I don't know, fucked them up bad enough where it took care of the disease. I just can't imagine, like, in that day and age, giving someone hypothermia on purpose.
So in the 20th century alone, here's 1800s. Oof. 36.5% of total malaria deaths were children under 5. Oh. So
say age 0 to 5 for kids was like 50% chance of living.
Basically, if you're a kid in the West, you're dead.
Yeah, half the time.
Like, basically, you moved out there as an adult, you lived, and then your kids all died.
I was gonna say this right to start. We should have done this earlier in the episode, but we didn't. The doctors in the Wild West, we give them a bad rap, right? Because a lot of them are uneducated, right? But not all of them, right? The truth is, they were out there doing their best to take care of the patients that they had. I like to think a lot of them were in that mindset of trying to just do the best they could. They were extremely busy. People were getting sick and dying left and right. But it was a tough life to live for sure, right? And they didn't do it just for money. Like we said before, the pay wasn't insanely good. It was probably better than a lot of other professions. But at the same time, you know, they weren't ill-intentioned, right? They just because they weren't educated, they shouldn't be faulted for that. You know, they were really pioneers, and actually the ones, I should say this absolutely, right? There is a lot of really good ones. Like, there's a lot of really good ones that did a lot of good documentation, that did push the medical field forward. So absolutely, you know, we give them a bad rap. It's easy to laugh about it and joke about it, you know, 150 years in the future. But like, the truth is, if we were back then, like, I would be a terrible doctor. You would be a terrible doctor.
I'd be a great doctor.
Oh, okay.
Because I'd follow through with this.
See, then I would say you'd be a better doctor than me, because you seem like a better salesperson then. I'd be like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I'll be like, trust me. All right, so supposedly,
Allegedly,
during the Civil War is the only statistics I could find. There were over 1.3 million cases of malaria, 10,000 deaths.
Oh, wow.
So like a 1% fatality.
So not worth a extreme case of
hypothermia.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
It said basically if you get any kind of treatment for malaria, like, you're gonna live, but if it's untreated, you're gonna die.
Oh.
So
does that include like extreme hypothermia?
Maybe
between two cabins.
2.
Not 1.
2.
Not 3.
2. Maybe 4, but 2 for sure. But yeah.
Why would 4 be okay?
Because it's 2 times 2. 6 is pushing it. So
my whole justification for doctors goes into one that I think was only done by guys that Like, you had to think that there was at least a small portion that was like they liked seeing people in pain, like they were sick in the head.
Yes.
You have to, like, you hear some of the stuff,
Some like serial killer type shit.
right, dark, you know,
Like, imagine back then there was probably a doctor that just like, I don't know, they just keep dying and this dude's just killing people, having fun.
yeah, Daddy didn't love him, you know. So one that I wanted to point out, right, is blister treatments.
Oof.
So the way that they would treat a blister is they would try to peel the patient's skin off. So they would rub irritants on there, and some doctors, like we're talking about, the real sick ones, would even wrap cotton around the skin and then burn it away, which was obviously an intensely painful treatment.
Well, yeah, your skin's already fucking
Yeah,
hurting.
let's melt it off.
Yeah, let's melt off another layer.
Fuck that.
Another stupid treatment back then was cigarettes for asthma. Because, you know, smoke cures things. I do want to talk about that our stupid game we were playing earlier. There's a couple in there.
Which
like,
one?
There was one, it was for like a cough it was something for a baby. Like if the baby's coughing or something, lock dad in a room and let him smoke a pipe or a cigar for 5 hours.
Jesus.
For some reason, they thought smoke would fix things. An earache was you have someone smoke a pipe and blow the smoke into their ear and say, like, ear pain, go away. Come again another day. Like, it was something stupid like that.
Did they really do that?
Yeah. At least according to the old-timey...
They sang the jingle?
I'll find the stupid jingle for you.
Wait, they actually did a jingle?
Yeah, it was really stupid.
Good pain, go away.
Basically, yeah.
Nate's a dumbass every day.
Yes. Still, stuttering one's my favorite. Bam! Here it goes. Hurt, go away. Go into a bale of hay. Is what they would say. 5 times.
Into someone's ear.
Having someone blow tobacco smoke into the ear 5 times saying, hurt, go away. Go into a bale of hay.
Okay, that's fucked up. So here's another good one for diphtheria of a child. So a True West magazine article by Marshall Trimble told the story of a physician who slit the throat of a child
Whoa.
choking with diphtheria, and they opened the windpipe and kept it open with fish hooks
Yeah.
to help them. Obviously, the kid didn't make it.
What? Are you sure?
That's what I mean. Like, you got to be a little sick in the head to do some of that. At that point, I'd be like, I don't know.
The worst is that he used the fish hooks.
Like, you got to think the guy's in there with the kid, right? And the parents are like, please help, please help.
He's like, I got a plan.
And then he starts, like, cutting the kid's throat open and pulling it apart with fish hooks. The parents are like, whoa.
You'd
What
think.
the fuck?
I'm a doctor. Trust me.
So one of the reasons why diseases were so rampant in that time was people prescribed to the miasma theory, which maintained that bad air bred various illnesses, and bathing opens up the pores, which allows that bad air to come in. So physicians thought that bathing made the body more permeable to pernicious air or, bad air, right?
Makes
So
sense.
the doctors would say, stay dirty all day, take dirt naps, stay dirty, don't clean yourself.
Basically, instead of eat an apple a day, keep the doctor away, take a dirt nap a day, keep the doctor away.
Yeah, I guess.
Makes sense.
And they it was at the time people said, God bless you, because when you sneezed, they thought that it opened up your soul to the devil, right? So
Poor people with fucking hay fever. I'm curious about what your next point on here was.
no, so not before that, right? Oh yeah, that one's funny. But I mean, we all knew, like, a kid in high school that still prescribed to the miasma theory, right? Like, if we talk later, I think we'd be thinking of the same person.
Yes, probably.
But so people used to think that masturbation was the cause of 2/3 of diseases.
Don't touch yourself.
So people used to think that it accounted for so many diseases.
All right. We're going to do a little bit of fun. I have with me.
Why are you pushing the? This makes me nervous.
Don't get worried.
Oh,
I have this nice book here.
I thought you were gonna take your pants off.
I lied. I thought it was 1894. It's 1897. Sears and Roebuck catalog. It's a reprint, obviously, because I'm not cool. But they have a
Is this like from 1897, like the book?
yeah. So, not the book. It's like the stuff inside. Yes.
It's like a reprint or
Yeah.
something.
In the Old West, you go to the general store and you'd have these catalogs. You always hear about Sears homes and stuff.
Yeah.
You'd actually order it from a catalog like this. And you just put an order in with your general store person.
Like with your app.
Yeah. And
This doesn't make any sense to me right now.
so you just basically order this shit and it would show up on a train eventually. And it's got prices in here and everything. I fucking love this.
Did they put like shipping days on it?
No.
Could you pay for faster shipping?
Maybe.
Could you subscribe to a monthly payment for a faster shipping?
Probably.
And also some shitty shows on Prime Video.
Yes.
And The Boys. Shitty shows on The Boys. And
So like here's
SpongeBob
tools.
too.
So you got hammers, hatchets, different chisels, saws. I'm trying to.
By the way, I have a Prime Video account.
So do I.
My Amazon Prime account. I make fun of it and then I do it myself.
Because you're a
Satire.
fucking loser.
I am. Thanks, Nate. You fucking dick. At least I can comprehend the last episode. You drunk fuck.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to talk about this 1897 Sears and Roebuck catalog drug department. So this is the stuff that you just go order. I mean, there's just different shit. I'll start off with an easy one for you. Root beer.
I like root beer.
Yeah, it was actually used as a medicine.
You put it in your butt?
You do not do an enema.
Oh, I thought that's what they did with everything.
No. So, a weird thing, you know how we said like almost everything was a cure? Of these medicines, a lot of the stuff was blood purifiers because that's what led to, you know, bloodletting and everything. They thought everything was in your blood. Which, some infections, yes, and everything. But
Yeah.
according to this, root beer is a blood purifier.
Purifier. It's a filter. It's a Brita filter for your veins.
Sure. How about this? Pink pills for pale people is a great blood builder. Cures pale and sallow complexions, suppression of the periods. Get rid of your periods.
Thank God.
Rheumatism and all of the diseases using from.
Wait, do they say periods? in
Yeah,
the thing?
it does.
Oh, I didn't know like old stuff said
Yeah,
periods. I thought they'd just be like that female stuff that goes on.
Kinda.
Oh, we don't want to talk about that.
So, it cures all diseases arising from mental worry, overwork, early decay, etc.
Early decay.
Yes, I'm guessing like
Dementia.
but is 25 cents per package, or a dozen of them is $2.
I'm glad you told me that.
I know, you're welcome. That's a
it's
big
really
one.
important that we know that.
Yeah.
That's providing a lot of value to the listeners.
Yes. Cure to stop the drinking habit.
Morphine
Probably.
or heroin.
actually.
One of the two.
Doesn't say what's actually in it, but yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Baby cough syrup.
Morphine.
20 cents
Dude,
per
that's
bottle.
the thing with the baby cough syrup. It always shows like a sweet old lady taking care of babies, and she's like secretly dosing them up like shit. Like, put
Yeah.
this baby out. I don't want to deal with this shit right now.
Blackberry brandy. You know, the Wisconsinites do love their blackberry brandy.
Probably tastes better than peach schnapps. Shit.
Yes.
Ugh. I keep looking at that bottle down there from the Karen Shebis episode.
We haven't touched it since.
I know. I was thinking about we should do that, or we should do a Tabasco whiskey shot sometime.
Next episode.
Yeah. When are we at episode 20?
I'll get back to you on that one.
Jamie looked it up.
So, blackberry brandy was used for stomach and bowel complaints, and the U.S. government allowed it to be sold without a license, even though it was brandy.
Hell yeah.
because it was medicinal.
It must have tasted like shit. Otherwise, everyone would have been drinking it.
I don't know. I like blackberry brandy.
I know, but do you like 1890s blackberry brandy?
Sure, why not?
It tastes like an old shoe.
Yeah, nerve and brain pills. Does that sound safe?
I don't trust my brain to doctors today.
Or here you go, the blood builder. BBB, Dr. Barker's blood builder.
Do you not have enough blood?
Let
me tell you. Like, how do you know if you have how do you know how much blood you have? You're sitting around like, dude, I could use some more blood.
You're just feeling a little off. You're like, fuck, I need more blood today.
Dude, I think I need more blood. I think that's what it is. Like, oh yeah, I mean, that's
All right.
right.
This one, we do not agree with the wording,
Big smile on your face.
but
You sick fuck.
it was essentially another thing.
Different time.
Yes. They also added extra things to it, but essentially it was,
Just out with it.
all right. Dr. Wonder's female pills for weak women for complexion, beauty, nerve, and blood maker. Essentially it was Midol, but
For
with
weak women,
but
what does that
extra
mean?
shit.
Like if your woman's like sick or something, or just like women are weak, they need this.
So back then, basically, your period was weakness.
Oh, Jesus, really?
Yes. Men are
Like
awful.
here's something that happens every month, no matter
Yes.
what, and it's a weakness. You hear me?
Yeah.
It's a weakness.
Here's another one.
That's fucked up. They really called it like that was a thing they called the periods weaknesses.
Well, it's just that's what they saw it as, and so that's why you got weak women pills.
That's messed up.
Here's another one: Brown's vegetable cure
It's like
for
it's
female
like,
weakness.
Go ahead. I'm just stuck.
That's
on the
just what it was
weakness
called.
It's like going to the bathroom was a weakness. Like, how dare you go
Yes.
to the bathroom, you weak
Yeah.
son of a bitch.
Basically, it was your period medicine, but also according to them, it helped your complexion, made you look younger, helped build blood because everything back then was about your fucking blood.
They did seem asphyxiated on that.
Here's one that didn't have anything to do with your blood, but if they cured it back then, I think we can cure it now. Dr. Rose's obesity powders.
Oh, they still have that. They still have that, like, weight loss drugs. They're like, just take a pill, it'll all go away.
Yeah. And, just talking about...
Like, at the same time, your, like, eyeball's gonna fall out while you sleep or something. Like,
How
I don't
about
trust those.
reliable worm syrup?
They taste terrible, too.
Do you want some worm syrup?
Worm syrup?
Yeah. You can save your children from much suffering and in many cases save their lives with this reliable worm syrup. So I'm thinking they thought, like worms like animals get, kids were getting it.
Yeah. I mean, and that is a thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you run outside barefoot a lot, you can get worms in your feet and then in your organs and stuff. That happens. Tapeworms. Yeah.
Here's this nice little thing. Peruvian wine of coca.
Oh, yeah. We
Good
talked about
old
that.
cocaine
Little
wine.
bit of cocaine. Definitely not trying it here.
Nope. It was 95 cents a bottle.
That's pretty expensive.
Back then, yeah.
That's like $55
But
a
I
bottle.
don't think you're drinking like the whole bottle at once.
Probably not. Yeah. I wonder how much cocaine was in it, though.
They're not going to give me that.
Well, I know that. But I wonder if it was like a higher percentage than Coca-Cola.
So something that was really cool is Sears started in Chicago, Illinois. Did you know that?
No.
Did you really?
No, I don't.
It was
Frankly, I don't care.
Oh.
But yeah.
So it also
I don't really spend my time Googling where did
didn't learn that.
Sears start?
And supposedly it started from a guy basically taking lost and found at train stations and selling it in a store, and then eventually became basically your supplier of literally everything.
How often are people just losing shit on the train?
Back then, probably a lot.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. You never know. Hey, look, laudanum.
No. Don't you deviate from my topic. How the fuck is that happening?
You've never lost anything in your life.
No, I've lost lots of stuff.
Exactly.
Oh, now it does make a
You
little
fucking
sense.
idiot. It's not like
Dude,
you're
can
losing like a whole suitcase. It's just like people losing their pocket watch, people losing like just something.
Yeah. Can I say, I don't know if this is the case at your house, but like I don't know where anything is in my entire house. Like,
I know where things are, where I put it, and then my wife goes and moves it, and then
oh,
yells
dude,
at me.
No, that's not okay. I get so mad when that happens. I'm
So,
like,
when
like
I-
how am I supposed to know where it is if you move it? No, but seriously, in my house, like, I'm like, I don't even know where my socks are. It seems like most of the time. I'm like, I don't know. And then
Okay,
I
I
ask
just know where
Sam,
that
like,
shit is.
hey, where is this at? And she'll be like, she's like telephones Elon Musk. And Elon's like feeding her data from like Starlink. It's like, it's
over
under the closet, under
is
the
it-
shoes is where the keys to the car is.
Why
She's
is it
like-
under the closet?
She's like, look there. And then I go there. I'm like, what the fuck? How do you know this? It's not-
Witchcraft.
like, you're purposely moving stuff around
I feel like they do.
just to be like, I know where it is and only I do.
Exactly. I feel like they do.
I don't think that's Sam's too sweet to do that.
I could see her doing it
See how I kissed ass?
just
there?
to fuck with you.
If she does,
and
kudos to her. Good for her.
She's gonna now.
She's listening to this like, you got me.
Yes. So,
Good for her. Good move. It's like a good game of chess.
God damn it, this is awful.
It's such a big smile too on your face.
So
You
this is
sick fuck.
the special family department of the drugs.
Special family department.
Yes.
What does that mean?
I'm guessing family remedies safe for everybody. Simple, useful, necessary, and known to everyone. Laudanum.
Heroin.
10 cents a bottle for a 1 ounce bottle. So that's just a shot.
Well, that's pretty cheap.
4 ounce bottles are 28 cents. And then $3 a dozen. I like how it gives you the dozen.
The dirty dozen.
Spirits of turpentine.
Oh, I think that's actually
Pure
medicinal.
for internal or external use. So just use.
Internal
Generally
use
sold for mixing with paints.
with. Wait a second.
Yep, you heard me.
Paints.
With paints.
Hold on. Turpentine.
Yep.
To be mixed with paints.
Yep.
What is it supposed to do?
Purely family
Drinking
use.
beer today. Sorry.
It literally says nothing.
So it's
Nothing. It does not. It doesn't
Hold
say
on.
what it's used for,
just mix it with paint.
except for mixing.
There's
with
nothing
paints.
else. Take it, mix it with paint, leave it alone.
Yes.
Don't touch it. Yeah. So there's okay. I'm moving on.
It works. It works. And then in the same category, rat killer insect powder.
Comes in the same colored bottle.
Also something known as strangle food, which is an insect killer. We're just going to touch briefly on this section here. So this catalog is just fucking awesome. There's everything you need to live is in this. There's food, guns, which we're going to talk about a little bit right here. This book.
So we would advise where to buy this if there was a place to buy it, but
I mean, you could probably just Google it because it is a reprint. I got this at a garage sale. So everyone, I mean, not everyone, but most people listening know how much guns cost.
they cost a lot. Some of our friends really know how much they cost. Brett, we love you.
We do. Stop buying guns.
Nah, dude.
You
it's
have
cool.
enough.
No, it's cool because I go shooting with them. I don't have to.
I mean, I guess
I don't
that
have
is-
to bring anything.
That is nice.
Like, hey, I want to go shooting. He's like, which ones do you want to shoot? I got this. I got this. I got this. I got this.
So right now, the most
Perfect.
expensive gun I can find in this book is $89. Oh,
Oh, that's pretty. How much is that?
never mind. It says it's on sale for $61, so that's a lie.
$61.
$61. So all these are shotguns, double barrel shotguns, and yeah, 30. Oh, damn. Here we go.
Hey, this is a medicine episode.
It is, but it's cool. Cool history in America. $187.50. for
Wow.
this double barrel shotgun.
I couldn't pay that now. For a shotgun.
This gun is one that sells everywhere for $250, but here you can get it for $187.50.
Wow. What a deal.
Yeah. So the shotguns,
Hey,
they're all double barrel.
You know what would be really fun?
What?
What if
$12.95.
we placed a call into the number on the book to try and order something?
There's no number.
What?
It's literally, you go to your general store. You read the catalog. He writes down what you want.
Really?
Mails it in, and it gets shipped to you. Like shipped to the store, and you have to come pick it up.
And you have to come pick it up.
Yep. So here's a bunch of handguns.
So where's the closest Sears store?
They're all closed.
Oh,
Sears went out of business.
is that right?
Our 68-cent revolver. How cool is that? Nothing but the best.
That's a $60 pistol. You think you could get a $60 pistol nowadays?
Not one that worked.
Probably not.
There's cheese in here too.
Oh, Jesus.
You know, you can get
What
your
kind of cheese?
cocaine wine. You can get your cheeses. You can get your guns. Get your laudanum because you need that.
Did they have a list back then that you could be put on for buying all that in the same order?
Imagine the fucking orders back then. Well, I'd like some Parmesan, some laudanum. Fuck it. Throw in that 68-cent revolver.
68 cents. I'm losing money if I don't buy it.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll buy a house while I'm at it too.
Yeah.
Gotta love the Wild West. That's why they call it the Wild West.
Yeah, it was in the West and it was pretty wild.
It was a fucking party. Oh, God, I hate you. So, yes, that is our episode on Wild West medicine and some other weird Wild West shit.
Next week, we're going to be doing an episode based on the Cuban Missile Crisis and the Bay of Pigs, potentially, too. Excited to do that. We started coming back to the Americas and the Wild West. We're going to stick there for the next episode, too.
It's Cuba.
Cuba.
Well,
yeah, but
dumbass.
Basically America, isn't it?
No. It's just opened again.
No, but we've drugged this out for so long already. Looking through your book.
So long. So make sure you leave a review on Apple Podcast and make sure you let us know where to ship your free shot glass.
Yeah. Hey, when you go to write a review, too, mention who you like better. Can we start that competition now?
Yes.
Do you like Nate better?
Drunk Nate? Sober Nate?
Which one? He's different. You gotta call out which one it is. Yeah. Or Jake, and his scripted jokes and ugly persona.
Yes. So I'm Nate.
I'm Jake.
Bye.
Bye. We'll see you guys next week.